Interesting story here. I've kind of saved this young man to last, and we've got just about 15 minutes here. A very unique story. So Christopher has been standing patiently while the show has been going on out here outside this deal, and he pulled me over at the at the bottom of hour one. He says, "Hey, I got a story to tell you." So, Christopher, I want you to tell the story to the audience what you told me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually on the Defenders Live on Wednesday night.
Steve and Ari, by the way, 9 o'clock Eastern every night on Mojo 50.
So I was on for their hour on Wednesday, and they got me on because of my experience with becoming pro-life. And what happened there was, basically, I'm the product of a rape, but I'm a third-generation product of a rape. And what happened is, my grandfather was born in a rape, and if it weren't for his mother making a choice to carry him and deliver,
you wouldn't be here.
There would be 28 to 30 less family members here today.
And you know, pro-life is a big thing on my list, and it struck me, and that's not all of your story. We'll get to that a little bit later. But you know, the left attacks this all the time. I mean, the left tells us it's a woman's health issue, it's her body. And listen, I want all of you to take note out there. Rape is a really bad thing.
Absolutely.
It's awful. It is terrible. I don't ever want a woman to go through it. The man ought to be castrated. I mean, there ought to be things done. I want that person to be prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law. But good for her. Yes. Because in the end, I think God has a very divine purpose among us. And every child is created in the image of God for the reasons of that, being whatever. Coming out of a really, really bad situation, there's a great story to be told there. And how much courage did that take? And just the levity of that is crazy. So, fantastic story there. But I want you to tell me about your podcast and Doc Thompson.
Yes, absolutely. So, a couple years ago, I produced a video for The Blaze to grab their attention and try to get them to hire me and make it go viral enough that they would hire me based on that. It was actually Doc Thompson, when he was working there, and Skip McComb at the time, his co-host.
Yep.
That took it upon themselves to help me get in front of The Blaze, and got it to Jeffy and Glenn Beck and everything. And they really pushed me. I met them a couple years ago here at CPAC, and they said, the video is great, but what I want you to do is keep on doing video content, no matter what it is. You need to stay in front of this. You need to keep your stuff out there. Keep pushing yourself.
Right.
So when I went back home, I was digging through my thoughts and trying to figure out what the heck am I going to... I just put a marketing video together.
Right.
Right. And I was thinking to myself, what the heck can I do? I'm knowledgeable about politics. I might as well start my own podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the world.
Yeah, I know. A little sharing podcast.
Oh, you probably... That might have been the worst thing you've ever done, but okay, we'll keep going.
Well, and what I keep on telling people is, you can attack me all you want. I'm doing it for free at this point.
Right.
So, you know. So I started up the Generation Y Conservative podcast and have owed it all to Doc Thompson, really.
You know, and what a great story. And we didn't realize, I mean, we knew Doc had a reach.
Absolutely.
We knew that he touched many people. There's the inappropriate bell. Yeah. But we're learning more and more every day how many people he actually influenced. And the numbers are just astronomical.
Well, what I was saying the other night is, you know, there's only a couple of people that can take politics and humor and mix it so natural.
Yes. He was one of a kind. I mean, you cannot reproduce Doc Thompson. It's amazing, and I don't think anybody's ever said it better. I mean, Doc Thompson took humor and he took politics and he made it palatable. In a way that no one else ever did.
Politics is such a dry topic. That's why we can't reach these generations, these younger generations now, because they don't trust any of it anyway. They don't trust either side.
Right.
They're so over the fact that they've been lied to over and over continuously by different parties. It just doesn't matter who's reaching them anymore. And the only way to truly reach them, as we've seen, is things like The Daily Show, right? Where you're taking humor and mixing it with politics and reaching the heart and soul of these people. And Doc Thompson did that on the conservative side. And there's only a couple other people that can do it. Like, I think if you take the late night approach, Steven Crowder does a great job.
I love Steven Crowder. He has a great program, and he's probably the closest.
Yeah, but who else? Doc Thompson and Steven Crowder are the only two that really mix the humor. Personally, on my show, I try to do the humorous approach as much as possible. It's hard to do that nowadays with so many serious topics hitting us all the time. You're talking the funniest things like the transgender going into GameStop. Like, it's ma'am, and it's like.
Do you know she came out with a rap song?
Yes, I did.
Brandon Morris has been all over that, and it's just like, these people want their 15 minutes of fame.
That's it.
They've got a mental issue, and the sad part about it is society and the left keeps exploiting them, and they don't know it. Thank you. Thank you. I want to get you on. Thank you for sharing the story. It's fantastic. Tell everybody where to find you. Where can they find you and how they follow you?
Absolutely. On Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube especially. Just search for the Generation Y Conservative. You can also hear the audio portion of the podcast on Spreaker,
Love it.
iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts.
Everywhere podcasts are found. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Great meeting you
Love
guys.
it.
And
Love
again,
it.
my condolences on
thank
Doc
you.
Thompson.
And love the stories, by the way. Love the stories, and thank you for sharing it.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. Got one more guest in here. Boy, we got it right on the number, too. Look at I told you.